this evening to take you through the third round of the championship, which is, as you can see, going to be taking place under darkness here today. It's good to have James alongside me. I think, well, I don't know if he can talk yet.
But, I think you can hear me.
Oh, I can. That's first time in years.
You wish. No, Discord crashed and kicked me out, and then it wouldn't let me join, and then we started, and then everything went dead, and I was like, oh no! But I think everybody can hear me now, so that's fine, after doing much fiddling around here as well. Yeah, Sebring, Mr. O'Leary, your favourite race circuit, of course. Tell us all about your love for Sebring.
Yeah, sorry for the slightly shoddy start to the broadcast, but yeah, we're here. I must admit, I'm not the biggest fan of Sebring in the world.
And why would that be?
Well, I don't really know. You just don't like some circuits, do you? I can't, there's no particular one reason. It's just I just don't like it very much, and that's
okay.
Sort of the end of it. But yeah, it's going to be a good round of the championship. We've got a good field of cars, GT3 cars, of course, for this championship, obviously, and yeah, it should be good racing. 2 races as well, and yeah, second one will have a pit stop just a little bit later on today. So yeah, no, I am looking forward to it. But yeah, Sebring not my favourite circuit in the world, as you say. But, it is going to provide some good racing. You can see at the moment in the qualifying times, the pole position time being thrown around between quite a few drivers at the moment as they complete their second laps of 4. With just over 4 minutes to go, they're going to be able to have the time to do all of those 4 laps as well, if they're quick. And at the moment, the front 5 also are really close in this qualifying session.
Yeah, they are at the moment, and I think that's the thing. If you can break into a 159... 2 minutes, you're on for a flyer. Okay, 1:59 to 2 minutes is a good lap time. I can only get down to an early 2:01, so I'll be down with Pianzola somewhere down in 14th if I was in this session. But yeah, 1:59, you're in for a good time with that one.
Yeah. That is a good time, and we're starting to see more and more drivers get into that now, because when you obviously joined the session and when you first got a glimpse of the standings on the left-hand side, you will have seen not many in the 59s. I think actually only one driver was in there. But don't forget, these days the GT3 tyre warm-up is a lot more difficult, and that means times generally increase as the session goes on. Even lap 3 is better than lap 2 and so on. So it's an ever-increasing curve, as it were, for that. And here you can see the current pole sitter, Eric Arria, coming through the final chicanes. And just actually behind, Ewan Vantergiato in 4th place rather. So it's not a closed, lone qualifying session. They're all going to come across the line effectively together here. And Vantergiato from 4th place is going to be the first over the line in this train of 3rd lap times of the session.
Yeah, they are at the moment as well. So I think it's still going to be an interesting one. You say Vantergiato is going to be 3rd, then Snell's going to come along the line. Dombre as well is on his way over to the run to the line. Eric Arria has just gone over the line as well. Lots of love in YouTube chat at the moment as well. So thanks so much to you all for joining us here once again. It's going to be an interesting one, I think. David Wang has just got and put himself on a 1:59.341 with a Mercedes, of course. So there you go. Good job from David Wang.
3 different manufactured in the top 3, although Wang is bringing his session to a close. He is alongside the Porsche of Arria and the BMW of Warner. That's 3 drivers on completely different sides of the world. I don't know if David Wang is in the US at the moment, but if he is, then it's fairly early on in the morning. It's going up to 7 o'clock Eastern time, actually, in America. So he's doing a pretty early morning. For a Monday. So yeah, he's here, second place at the moment, but decided not to bother with his final lap time that he was allowed. Eric Arria will be next over the line then. I suppose Vantergiato as well, although he didn't improve on the previous lap time. And it is their final lap times of the session coming up next, not only because we're running out of time, but also they're getting to the end of the 4 laps that they're allowed in this session. Yeah,
they absolutely are. So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to end up finishing where here. Eric Arria, as you say, on a 1:59.127. I think at the moment he's looking like he might be the one that will set times. Is Ferrero mowing the lawn? Answer to your question. Yes. There we go. Jake, hope that helps.
Pace Ferreira not having got time in actually yet. He's done his... now he does, and goes up to second, so that was well timed. He finally gets a lap time in. We've got this weird Corvette again with white headlights and yellow headlights. Looks horrendous, doesn't it?
This yellow headlight thing is just freaking me out. I didn't get a chance last night after we did one and it was yellow and white again. But this yellow headline thing is proper tripping me out as Dombray's just gone onto pole position ahead of Aria. Then Ferrero in behind it. He's got about 15 seconds here. So I don't know if he's going to really complete the lap. It depends if they have time to go over, which they don't. Matt Warner's parked up. Schnell's still running. He's on his way down the Ullman at the moment. Coming into the right-hander. He's got 2-1. Qualifying is done.
Yeah. Just a little bit too late to get that fourth lap time in, but it's a close field, and it's going to be a good first race here to come from Sebring. It is going to be, that changed very late on, of course. Guillaume Dombray getting the pole position ahead of Eric Aria. Peter Ferreira making it 3 Australians in the top 3 ahead of David Wang. Matt Warner and Lee Harrison are on row 3 ahead of Ben Snell and Ivan Vantagiato. It's Ben Mitchell and Cristiano Crizet running out the top 10. Scott Evans and Dante Oliver will be 12. Anthony Eduardes is ahead of Jordan Pianzola. Then it is Michael Angeli and Paul Pittum, with Scott Boreham and Carl Newhill on row 9 ahead of Luke Broadbent to round out the field of mostly Australians, but other nationalities sprinkled in there as well, some Europeans and even an American in the field as well on this Monday morning in Europe. As they all grid up on the back straight, short formation lap before they get into the first race of just 10 minutes, of course. Yeah,
it's going to be an interesting one. Who's going to get to the front? Who's going to be able to stay there? And what's the outcome? Is it going to be rushed, and is everybody going to have a major collision? That's going to be the question, I suppose.
Yeah, they don't often get them at turn 1, but maybe this time round. What, turn 1 here?
Oh, mate, all the time.
No.
We clearly been watching different
it's hardly the
races.
Worst turn 1 in the world, is it?
Yeah, but people go on the inside, then people go on the outside, and then, hey presto, they've had a crash.
Well, there's my prediction. There will be no crash at turn 1.
Rubbish.
I'm quite looking forward to it now.
Okay. Let's see if somebody goes off.
The opportunity to prove James wrong is just,
Oh,
brilliant.
Will you give over? Stop it.
Anyway, let's...
Welcome into JPP if you haven't been here before, by the way, with myself and Mr. O'Leary.
Yeah, I've not done this series before, so there you go. Yes, let's see as this race begins. The pace car pulls away from the Ullman straight and will bring itself into the final turn, ready for the start of this first race of the day. Just 10 minutes in length, as I say, before we get into that feature race a little bit later with a pit stop included as well. Now into the pit lane for the pace car. And Aria and Dombray will bring them to the green flag. There is a lot of stacking up in the background. Some of the guys were... Oh, and there's somebody stopped as well. There may have been some stacking up there, as some of the guys were really expecting that to be a faster start off of the final corner. But Dombray gets it towards turn 1. All fine. He's on his own, of course, and gets the jump as the leader. Side by side for second. Ferrero holds off Aria for that position. Jumping up late in qualifying, he jumps up to second place in the first corner as well. There's Pianzola on the inside line of turn 3 in that Audi as they all stack up into the third corner on the track. It's a much more strung out field because Dombray really slowed them down for that final corner, and then he went. That really gave him a big lead off of this start. Yeah, very weird there. I'm not quite sure if that's going to be looked at or what the situation will be, but that was a very weird start. I've got to be honest with you. Dombray literally brought them straight in, and they almost looked like he went and then come back again, and then he stopped, and it was almost like Oscar Piastri last time out in Silverstone. So, yeah, not quite sure if that's going to be called or what the situation will be. We've had Ben Mitchell go off at the beginning, but he did come back on not long after that. They're 3 wide further back here. They have managed to make it through the right-hander currently at the moment as well, but it's getting very, very tight once again from all of these guys as they continue to scrap it out. Yeah, it is side by side into Tower Corner, this will be. And Now, oh, cut off just in front. That was Scott Evans in the Ferrari. He's qualified just outside the top 10 for this one, and he's fallen down to the back now, unfortunately. Piazzolla and Newell, meanwhile, are going side by side as well. Piazzolla's blinking, which is not ideal. Into the chicane. A lot of space being given by Newell, and they get through fine in the end. Oh, no. Newell's still on the outside because Piazzolla still there by the time they get to Le Mans, and now they're 3 wide as well as the Corvette just pulls alongside. Anthony Edwards just pulls alongside on the straight. See if he can get through. Piazzolla just to tuck him behind, and he's very much getting boxed in now. Oh, and Newell turns in, slides, he saves it somehow. He's going to hit the wall though. Bang, straight into the wall down there at Sunset Bend. He was losing that car from a long way out, and he does hit the wall. Yeah, he does there as well. You saw him going sideways, dives into pit lane now as well. Michele Angeli is still out on the racetrack fighting his way through. Back up front, Dombre, Ferreira, Aria, Warner, Snell, all not very far apart at this moment in time, as these guys are continuing to scrap. A Porsche, a McLaren, a Porsche, BMW and a Ferrari fighting out at the front. So this 10 minutes is proving to be a little bit manic. Yeah, it certainly is. That's what you expect from the sprint race, certainly. As they now get on the brakes and down in towards the hairpin, turn 7. It's all single file for the leaders who, as I mentioned earlier, have got really ahead of the rest of the field because of that bizarre start. I don't know if it's even possible to look back before the start, but I definitely think there was some people hitting the back of others at the start of this race, coming out the final corner, because Dombre seemed to be just going so slowly. This is a little bit further back to where it would likely have happened. No, watch in front. I guess everybody's just overly eager to get. Oh, look at that! Yeah, very slow. And maybe they don't actually hit each other, but they all come to nearly a dead stop. Yeah, it was very bizarre. As I said, it was kind of a Piastri at Silverstone moment where he looked like he almost went and then stopped again and brought them all back together, which I don't know if that would have been called in. Oliver here is fighting out with Kriska as these guys continue to go at each other through Le Mans Curve, of course. Now on the run down the back of the Ullman. It's going to be interesting to see how the Porsche gets on here. Not the greatest at top end, as we know, but yeah, it might be okay under the draft. Is it going to be able to get through into the final corner? So just up in front there, that's Harrison having a look down the inside. Lee Harrison on David Wang. Can't quite get through, I don't think. And same goes for Dante Oliver as well. Just close in behind, but not able to get through as they now cross the line again. It's going to be quite close to whether we get 5 or 6 laps in this race, by the way. We'll see what the pace is like from Dombre at the front of the field over these 10 minutes. There's Wang off the circuit. Lee Harrison wasn't close enough to capitalise. If he was as close as he was into the final corner, he would have been through for sure. Yeah, Dante Oliver's just trying to clear Kriska. They're running side by side, door banging their way through. Bad check up at the start there, Shane. I'm not going to read the front word, but yes, you are right. It was, which caused some dramas throughout the field, through the back end as well. You can see Harrison and Wang side by side going down into the hairpin. The Mercedes of Wang does get through. Harrison this time goes through. Pittman is blinking as well. He's been in and out at the same time. Matty Warner with Ben Schnell also fighting it out as well. Matt Warner in that lone BMW in this field. Still up 1 from where he qualified in 5th position, just in front of Ben Snell. David Wang, who's lost the positions to fall out of the top 5 to allow these two in, as they now come through Tower Corner. And Warner continues to soak up the pressure, but Snell's so close as they get towards Bishop. Surely going to be a chance by the time they get to the chicane. He has a look, but no chance this time. And that's a bit wide for Warner, so the pressure definitely getting to him here, and Snell's going to have a good chance at Sunset Bend. Yeah, if he can, he's got to stay in behind him at the moment here. Once again, he's got to wrap up close as he can possibly get to that BMW. There's Ferrari from Schnell trying to look at making the move. He's pulled out. Is he going to be able to make it? No. Look in the background, though, with Ben Mitchell, Pittman there at the same time. They're continuing to fight. He's going up the inside at the moment, Mitchell. Nope, no, nothing doing there either. But the front battle, Peter Ferrero, is closed into the back of Dombre. Yep, it's close again. 4/10 of a second gain that lap, by the way, by Ferrero on Dombre. So that has really created a battle for the lead here. Ferrero seems to be growing into the race as he grew into the qualifying session as well. Don't forget, Ferrero didn't have a lap in until there was only about a minute to go in the qualifying session, and that meant that he was way down all throughout. Didn't think he was going to get time in at all. Eventually he did manage it, but he was only second, and if he'd have built up normally, then maybe he could have got pole in that session, but he's building up in the race instead, and he's really putting the pressure on Dombre now. If he continues to increase the pace like he did in qualifying, then by his 5th lap, which of course he didn't get in qualifying, going to be very, very quick indeed, and looking for a way past into the lead of this race maybe, although there's not long to go.
No, definitely not here. We might just about get, I think it's going to be one more lap, to be honest with you. I think it's just going to be about 5 minutes, 5 laps, sorry, because they are around the other side of the circuit and they've got a long way to go. They're breaking into that. If they get to 7:59, it's going to be one more. That's going to be about it. But Ferrero definitely closing in on Dombre at the moment.
We'll keep a lookout for the white flag this time round in case it does fly, but I don't know if it will at the moment.
Yeah,
now
it will.
Into the Mont, I think it will, but I don't trust our racing. Into the almost straight for Ferrero, and 0.3 of a second. He is not quite going to get past, I don't think, down into Sunset. He's in the slipstream at the moment. It should be better straight line speed in that McLaren, but it just wasn't quite enough this time round. Through the final corner, and yeah, this easily is going to be the final lap. Actually, that first lap seems to have taken ages because he brought them to such a stop, Dombre. It definitely is going to be the white flag, and there it is waving. 1 lap to go here at Sebring in race 1. It's flown by, and his battle for the lead is going to come down to the wire at the end of this race. He caught again there, did Ferrero. Another 1/10 of a second on the last lap, but now can he make the pass?
Yeah, he's going into turn 2 at the moment as well. The left-hander, through he goes. It's going to be very difficult. They've got to straight line that, then into the left-hander again before they get onto Gurney. The long looping run around the hairpin. The Porsche is better on that infield. You can see him open up a bit of a gap now. Currently at the moment, Ferrero fighting it out once again. Is he going to be able to make this through? Is he going to be able to get there down into the hairpin? No, on the brakes they're going to go. It's going to be a couple of corners in. He's got to try and get close down into the Ullman. If he can make that move down into the Sunset, we might have a last lap move or last corner move from Ferrero. So it's going to be an interesting one at the moment. Is this league public? Yes, links down description below. You can find the links to the Discord. Get yourself involved if you want to. Come and join in and have some fun with these guys. Dombre, Ferrero, final lap, not long left, going into the right-handed tower here, Ewan, and they haven't got many corners to go.
They absolutely haven't. Don't forget that Ferrero's a long way back in the championship compared to Dombre going into this, so Dombre will absolutely want these points and put them distance between himself and Eric Aria, who's currently leading the way, and Ivan Vanchagiato, who's the only other driver in front of him at the moment. So he will desperately want this win, but Ferrero could get his season back on track here with a win at round 3 in the opening race. He goes for a wider entry, a later apex into Le Mans, and he's got the better run as well. That Porsche famously not so good in a straight line. Is the McLaren strong enough though? I have a feeling that Ferrero is just not quite strong enough in a straight line. He's going to have to do it into Sunset Bend in the corner if he's going to make this move, but it's just going to be too difficult. It's not the easiest circuit to overtake on in the world, and Ferrero is not quite going to get there. He gives a flash of the lights, I think, there, but Dombre holds on. The checker flag waves, and it's going to be Guillaume Dombre to win the first race of the day, just in front of Peter Ferrero, and in behind Eric Aria with the best lap of the day right at the very end. This is in 3rd place.
Yeah, it definitely is. Peter Ferrero there, 2nd place. Guillaume Dombre wraps up first. Now, I'd like to point something out to you, okay, that I've noticed. You sit here, and remember we had the discussion about headlights, and I said this yellow is proper freaking me out because I'm sure they weren't like that. When we get into the next race, Dombre's lights are yellow, Aria's lights are white. So that is why it is proper tripping me out. Okay, just to let you know, because they are separate colours, but they're in the same car. Aria's is white, Dombre's yellow.
Yeah, and there's we just saw a McLaren there. I think was that
Carl Newhill.
This is Newhill, yeah, but a moment ago you showed another McLaren. I think it was Ben Mitchell, and he had yellow headlights. Newhill's got white. So, yeah, I guess it's a choice. I didn't know you had the choice in our racing.
Is it a choice?
The LED light choice for endurance racing, but I didn't know about this.
Yeah, is it a choice? Let us know in YouTube chat, because we are having Well, I'm having proper, like, I don't know what, Mandela effect on this one, I've got to be honest. But the results on the screen for you there as well. Why is... there we
I'd
go.
go as far as say mental breakdown.
I'm not having...
Anyway.
Thanks, mate.
Has taken the race win, just about holding on for Pereira, and a great race between the two of them. Eric Aria was closing in as well, set the best lap on the last lap. He finishes third ahead of Ben Snell. Dear me, get my words out. And Matt Warner rounds up top 5. Ivan Vanchigiato loses a bit of ground in the championship, finishing 6th, but nothing too bad. David Wang next ahead of Lee Harrison, Dante Oliver, and then Cristiano Kriza, who was just in behind. Ben Mitchell not too far away either. Anthony Eduardes finishing next in line ahead of Jordan Pianzola, who did get past that group with Scott Borman involved. Scott Evans just in behind him. Michael Angeli finishing third last ahead of Luke Broadbent with Kyle Newhill, who I think disconnected. Oh no, that was Paul Pittam, sorry. Not sure what Newhill had going on during that race, but Pittam certainly disconnected and unfortunately finished a few laps down. Hopefully gets back in for race 2.
Yeah, hopefully he will as well. But yeah, we're going to have to find out what's going on here at the same time. Any more than I'm going to have to find out why everything, all of a sudden, the positions are white, which is really freaking me out because they weren't like that last time. So yeah, bear with us while I try and resurrect that over the warm-up as we've got a few minutes here.
Yep, okay. It's yeah, just a 3-minute warm-up session to begin with. And then we'll get into the second race, which is 25 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. And then, and yes, it's got a pit stop within it as well, because the fuel has been limited, so much so that they will have to stop over the course of the race. That has been implemented, I think, after the first round, if I'm not mistaken.
There was drama after the first round, bud.
Yeah, I read about that. So, yes, that's been implemented, and we shouldn't have any similar goings on this time round. That was at Tell Ben, by the way, the first round. Portimao 2 weeks ago was the most recent. Didn't race last week. Next week is at Road America as we continue our American leg of the season and end it with Daytona the week after that at the start of August. Then it's Bathurst, of course, Fuji and Mugello to round out the season. Back in Europe again for just the second time this season. So, yeah, got the American leg of the season in the middle, trip to Australia, Japan, and back to Italy again to come. We'll end the season, but season finale at Mugello could be a tight one as well, looking at the way this championship is shaping up so far.
Yeah, it should be. I'm looking forward to this as well. I think this has been a great season so far for an opening round. So I think this could be a bit of a spicy one going into the final race of this season. So, yeah, looking forward to this. Should be a good one.
Absolutely, it should. It will be a couple of moments as we enter the next session, and there we go. I think that's the session just flipping forward now towards the race. As I say, 25 minutes to come, and the order is going to be. I'll go with the one that I can see on the screen because the timing says something completely different. Dante Oliver should. Oh no, that's the back of the field. That's why. It's going to be the same starting order as what we saw for the first race in the way that they finished. So I'll let that scroll through on your screen, but we just did the race results. So it's effectively the same as what we had in race number 1, now forward into race 2. 26 minutes, sorry, on the clock. But yeah, it's effectively the same from race 1 to race 2. So, yes, it's effectively like having a safety car, isn't it? Given a few points after 10 minutes, safety car, now everybody's back going again where they finished in the first race. Yeah,
they are at the moment as well. I was just sort of trying to sort out the grid numbers. I'm not quite sure why all of a sudden they're all white, which is really confusing me. But they seem to be better now. Hopefully Dombre will have a better start than he did last time and not cause mass drama by checking everybody up. So let's keep an eye out on this start here.
Absolutely. Oh, there's a little bit of a delay in the inside lane there. And somebody not going here. Oh dear. Now this is going to be drama, isn't it? Because coming out of the final corner, they're barely going to be stacked up in time now. Who is that there in that position? Not sure. Ben Snell, maybe? who didn't quite get, didn't quite get going as quickly as he should have done there, and thankfully there's just about enough time. Now, is it going to be a cleaner run out the final corner? Snell right up to the back of the McLaren. Oh, and it didn't go at all. Dear oh dear, on the other side of the grid, Dombre and Vantagiato get off to a much better start, and the McLaren in the middle there, Ferrero just wasn't going. He is really in trouble here, down in towards turn 1, 3 wide, and they make it through at the front at least. Dombre leads again ahead of Vantagiato, who's had a very good start. Ferrero and Snell, contact. Vantagiato off. Ferrero spins, and there's going to be trouble. Warner contact as well in the BMW. He might have damage, but and a spin for Ferrero as well on those cold tyres. He's going to go to the back of the field. Yeah,
Ferrero's gone round. That was just a little bit of drama kicking in again here. You can see they're 2 by 2 almost at the moment. One of them's got no headlights whatsoever. That's a Ferrari. Is that Schnell's got no lights? So he ain't going to be seeing a lot if he gets out on his own, unfortunately, because he's relying on everybody else at the moment in and around him.
Well, it's a good job everybody else has got headlights, because he's not going to be able to see a thing on his own. He's going to have to come in and get that repaired. He's got no straight line speed either, as you see Harrison pulling past there, and Oliver as well. Dante Oliver, although he's still fighting back on the inside line here, 2 by 2 by 2 in front here. Goodness me, Dombre is going to win this race by a mile. This is a real big battle for second place. Wang is now there, and that is one of the Porsches going backwards. Vantagiato still going backwards there in the Porsche. This is a big gap for the leader, 4 seconds in 1 lap.
Kriska and Snell has also been off the circuit. They've been off together. So we'll have a look back at that very, very shortly. But you can see Eric Aria chasing down David Wang at the moment. Aria's got the white headlights. Dombre's got yellow. So I said, I think it might be a choice. I'm obsessed with them headlights. I need to move on.
Yes. There you can see it on your screen. Harrison gets close to Aria, down in towards the final corner. That's the important thing for the championship leader, that in all of the carnage with Vantagiato getting in trouble, he's not got into such trouble, Aria, although Lee Harrison is down his inside and looks like he's going through into 3rd position, and indeed does. So Aria will look to try and get that position back again, the man who got the fastest lap right towards the end of the last race. He goes over the line here just with his nose in front. He's on the outside in towards turn number 1, and he's going to have to go right the way round through the first corner. Side-to-side contact. It's a long way round there, and Harrison doesn't want to give it up easily, and he does keep 3rd place. Aria twitches back, looks to the inside, can't get past. Lee Harrison keeps 3rd place.
Yeah, he does currently. But Aria now under attack from Oliver. Absolute disaster, says Wizard in YouTube chat as well. I think starts are becoming a little bit of a problem. I think there needs to be some ruling that the driver can't just go and break away and then hit his brakes to bring up everybody together, because that was the main reason for that one. Not quite sure what happened in the second one. The Ferrera didn't actually go anywhere, which seemed a little bit bizarre, and then got caught up, and then everything went, well, just round and round in circles. Pittman's back in pit lane and has just left pit lane, so he's down a lap at the moment for Paul Pittman. There's been changes in the middle, but it is this group of Aria, Harrison and Oliver who seem to be bringing the action here, battle for 3rd, 4th and 5th. So, yeah, still a little bit of TV problems on the starts.
I think Pittman, by the way, has not got back into the session again before the race after disconnecting last time. I think that's the problem there. And he's gone again now, I guess, realising that he's not going to get much from this race. He's left, unfortunately, so that's the end of it for him today, which is a bit of a shame. Ferrero still in pit lane, but we have seen a couple of the, I would say, scheduled pit stops so far. Snell and Vantagiato, or will they have to stop again, I wonder, because they pitted so early? Maybe they will. But anyway, just going towards the end of lap 2, will be a 13-lap second race here today. And Wang currently holding on to the 2nd place. Looks like he's holding on to the lead, but it's Dombre out front with a very, very big advantage at the front. Yeah, he has at the moment. Dombre is just basically up the road. You can just see him ahead there of these 3 guys as they continue battle around. I'm not quite sure if that's reflection of the lights that's causing them to look all of a sudden white, but yeah, lots of weird things happening in this session. Ben Mitchell, Kriska here with Scotty Evans. Schnell's had another drama. Vantagiato has also been off the side of the track, but he did pass Schnell, but then lost a place. It's looking all a little bit weird of what's going on at the back at the moment as well with Vantagiato. Yeah, it's very interesting so far, but I'm not quite sure what is actually going on, to be honest. Yeah. Oh, well.
Oh, Schnell's facing the wrong way. Yeah, Schnell's facing the wrong way.
I'm not sure what happened even on lap 1 for Vanchiato, because he got off to a decent start, and then suddenly around halfway around the lap, he just seemed to sort of stop trying and pull off the side of the circuit, let everybody past. I don't really know why that was, but yeah, it was very weird opening lap for him. And
it was a weird opening lap for a lot of people, to be honest with you.
Well, yeah, that is true. But you know, we can't watch everyone's perspective from lap 1, otherwise we'd be here all race doing all that. As we jump back to the front, Dombre only 3.5 seconds now in front of Wang. You'd say he's probably favourite to take the double race win here. It'd be great for his championship. He'd certainly pull ahead of Vanchiato in the championship and get a bit closer to Aria, who's currently in the mid-pack here, just in behind Harrison, and Wang battling away for second place.
Yeah, Wizard in YouTube chat. Honestly, the white lights are so much better than the yellow. And there we go. We're still presuming it's a choice. You can't pick what colour lights you want, I'm guessing, here once again, because Aria, as we said, he's got white and Dombre's got yellow. So we think it is a choice once again. But Scotty Borman is having a nice little battle with Broadbent as they're side by side. And I don't mean Jimmy, I mean Luke. And I'm probably guessing that's no relation. Luke there with the yellow and white headlights. So he's picked both.
And that is the most annoying of the lot. You know, I can see where you're coming from. The white lights are better than the yellow, but one thing that should be banned is white lights on the bottom, yellow lights on the top. That is horrific. I mean, look at it.
I agree with you on that one. A little bit bizarre, to be blatantly honest. Kriska and Evans are side by... Oh. That's Mitchell, sorry, in behind him. I thought Mitchell was going to stick it up the inside there and cause some problems, but he's managed to... back out, and now it's the run down into the hairpin at the moment for these guys as they're going down now once again. But Dombre's leads come down of 2.6, 2.5. I wonder if Dombre's just made a mistake, because Wang, Harrison and Aria are getting closer.
Yeah, they certainly are. This has been happening lap on lap. 2 minutes 0 last time round from Dombre, 59.4 from Wang, and that is... No, a big gain, really. 0.6 of a second, but, you know, then again, Dombre's got such a big lead that Wang would need to do that another 4 times in a row before he can catch up. And by that point, it's lap 8, and we're well into the second half of the race, and then it's a sort of distance you would back yourself to hold on for if you're the leader in that situation. So, all is not lost for Dombre. It's absolutely fine because he's got 4 seconds worth of a lead, but that's surprisingly the amount of time he lost last lap.
Absolutely. And I think he made a mistake going down into the hairpin. I think that was the problem. Wang's off the side of the circuit as well. That's going to bring... No, it ain't, because Harrison's too far back at the moment with Aria there as well. Wang gave them an opportunity, and the guys behind couldn't take it. So, yeah, he's got the endurance lights on. That's why the bottoms are on. Most have the standard light package. So, there we go. Get more and more information on the lights, which is good for us.
Yeah, thanks. We're going far too deep into this. Someone says it's yellow lights for legacy cars and white for modern. That's definitely not the case, I don't think, because the same manufacturer have got different lights on in this race. Oh, and one of them's off. That's Aria, the championship leader, off through turn 1. Slides in that classic Porsche style through turn 1. High-speed corner. He's lost the rear, and he's down to 8th place. Loses 4 places in that half spin.
Yeah, he does at the moment. We'll have a look back now. Dante, this is where Oliveira got past Aria. Aria is all the way down here at the moment. Just runs it in deep, I think. And then gets it all wrong. So, Aria, not ideal. Let's try and see if we can catch up with him. Oh, nope. Slide going in. And that could be deemed a Porsche doing Porsche things, to be blatantly honest with you.
Yep. Although, ironic to see a Porsche following him and just not doing the same thing, even though they took the same line and whatever. But Oliver getting through rather easily. Matt Warner's back to 5th, and I thought he'd be pretty damaged, actually, after the first race. You can see a bit of bodywork on that BMW, but nothing too bad. And Matt Warner is running, fairly nicely in the top 5 now. Thankfully for him, he's 8th place in the championship going into today, just 13 points to his name. So he'll be moving up today, finishing 5th in race 1, and he's in the top 5 again in race 2, although I'll say nobody's made their pit stop yet. Nobody of the leaders have anyway.
Yeah, they've all been deemed as got to be done by 3 laps before the end as well. Afternoon, sir, JP, says Sean Atkinson. Obviously disregarding Ewan's in the booth as well. I reckon Eric will get back into the top 5, says the Wizard. Maybe. Let's see what he does here. He's just about side by side at the moment with one of the Audi. I think that was actually that was a Ferrari of Scotty Evans, who he's just cleared. Aria up now back into 7th place. The guy's locked in behind him currently. Matty Warner's in there. He's chasing down Dante Oliver, who has got Matty Warner and Pianzola in behind him as they're going into turn number 1.
Absolutely. A new personal best as well from Pianzola on that lap. 59.6 on that last lap for him. In the background, Aria does consolidate that 7th place now ahead of Scott Evans. Before that pass, actually, I would have said maybe not actually for Aria getting back in the top 5. Thought it would have been difficult actually, but since he's made that pass so easily, maybe he will catch up those 1.5 seconds and get back into the top 5 pretty quickly, as Peter Ferrero takes the fastest lap of the race. Only bad thing is he's a minute and a half off of the next car, and he is down, of course, on the leader.
Yeah, just about a lap down at the moment is Peter Ferrero, so he's going to have to try and come battle his way back through again here, but David Wang is there with Lee Harrison in behind him. How you boys doing? I'm doing the GT3 tonight, so I thought I'd try and pick up some tips. Yeah. Stay away from start lines.
Is it round here?
Is it tonight? No, I don't think it is tonight, actually.
I don't know. I don't know.
No, it's at Catalunya. It's a completely different circuit.
Just trying to, I think he's kind of joking. He's just watching along anyway. Who did I just see swapping positions there side by side? Not sure, but
Pianzola and Warner are having a go at each other.
Scott Evans last couple of moments. Well, there's about to be one here. Pianzola is surely about to get past Matt Warner down in towards Sunset as they get into the end of the end of lap 6, and that was close. Pianzola just had a look but couldn't get past. Evans now going backwards actually as Cruiser gets past. And Warner had it down his inside, but he wanted to come to pit lane, so hit the brakes and just ducked in. Yeah,
that's Aria up in position now. Aria into 5th, so he has made 5th place, but obviously hasn't pitted as of yet. Going to give the timing tower a minute to sort yourself out, because obviously everybody's in pit lane there as well. Good advice on the start line, says Garrett Kinney. Thank you, Garrett. And that's about as best as I can give him, to be blatantly honest with you, as the starters have been a little bit of a dramatic moment here. Angeli is in behind Newhill as these guys continue on their run through turn number 1. But I think this is going to really mix it up now with the pit lanes, pit stop, sorry, and see how they get on. But I think it could be an interesting one.
Yep. That's Warner and Evans both come out of the pit lane now. Lee Harrison in front. He's the first of those to have made a stop. So that is making me think, actually, that Ivan Vacciato has not done enough of a fuel fill, actually, in that car to actually make it to the end. He's only spent 4 seconds in the pit lane. So I would guess he's only done a faster pair, maybe a lap of fuel in that pit stop. But he needs to come in again to take the rest of the fuel with about 3 laps to go, as you say. And that is, that's going to put him a long way down the field, unfortunately, and it's going to lose him his place in the championship. Currently in 2nd, of course. He's going to be behind Dombre for sure at the end of this round. Yeah,
absolutely there. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Ferrero's been off track, back on. Wang's been off. I think they've just run a little bit wide. I'm not going to worry too much about showing that. But Oliver at the moment, Wang, Dombre. Now it's going to be down here with Lee Harrison. He's the first of the pit stoppers as well. So it's going to be whether or not how far Harrison can get. Evangeli, Newhill, Borman, Eduardes, Mitchell, Crisco and Aria all go in pit lane. So there we go. You're not covering the turns though? Yeah, I am, dude. I'm there tonight with you. Don't worry about it. I'll be there.
I'm not. That's why I don't know.
Yeah, he's not tonight. He's elsewhere. Dombre's in pit lane. Wang's in pit lane.
And Wang, yeah.
Oliver.
It's getting towards the limit now. Oh, that was late from Aria, I think it was, in the Porsche. Get away, or will he get away with that, actually? It was very late. If he went across the yellow line there, he might be in trouble and get an unsafe pit entry penalty, which would cost you 40 seconds for our championship leader, as Jordan Pianzola proves that there is enough fuel on board to continue on. Same for Cruiser and Mitchell as well, but all the others in pit lane. These are the only 3 who haven't stopped now.
Yeah, the few people here running a little bit longer, but it's going to be Dombray's on his way out. Harrison, how close are you going to be, son? You are going to be effectively second on the road at the moment because he's tucked in behind Dombray. Oh, Harrison made a move there. That pit stop early helped him.
Yeah, bit of an undercut here. It's really worked, but Lee Harrison, he's well ahead of the others who were battling for second place earlier, although David Wang's pit stop, to be fair, was a lot longer than it really should have been. He is down to 10th at the moment, in behind Matt Warner, so that will be net 5th place, I think, at the very best for Wang. But these are the things that happen throughout the pit stops. The order can change very, very quickly indeed, and it's gone the right way for Harrison. He's into the top 5 now, and he's chasing down Dombray for the win. Yeah,
but the question is has he got the pace? That's the problem. Best time 59.59 for Harrison. Best time 59.44. Obviously, they're not going to be able to do that because they've got to get. I don't think they would have changed tyres. I think that's just would have been absolutely bonkers. Carl Newell has been off the side of the circuit as well. So, unfortunately for him, he's dropped down the order. Matty Warner, after his pit stops, down in 9th. But obviously, he's got Mitchell, Kriska and Pianzola to stop, which we think they will do this lap. Because I don't know if they're going to be able to go much longer here from Pianzola. 16, is he going to be in? He is. Is Kriska going to be coming in? Yes. No. Yes. And also Mitchell's in. So this is where it's going to be now. Dombray and Harrison, I think, going to be the overall leaders going on to the next lap. But where is Pianzola, Kriska and Mitchell going to come out?
I would imagine that we know the top 2, but Pianzola, is he already going? No. He might have taken a while to find his box there. He might have done a bit of shuffling around. How long's the stop going to be? Goes past 11, 12. Oh, that's a bit long for Pianzola. Over 12 seconds. We know who the top 2 are going to be then. But Pianzola's not going to be part of it. It's going to be Harrison trying to get past Dombray as Pianzola comes out of the pit lane. Oliver's going to be on the podium here in that Porsche. Great run through the pit stops for Dante Oliver, who's now 3rd, Pianzola 4th, and Aria is indeed back in the top 5 already, even challenging for 4th as Pianzola gets out the pit lane. Oh, he hit immediately by Eric Aria there, who's now 5th.
Yeah, Aria got very, very close there. Massive amount of overspeed. Aria opened up that door into turn number 3 to give him a little bit more room on the run down into Gurney at the moment. Aria doing a great job. Is he going to be able to move up any further? Well, we're going to keep our eyes out. David Wang, not a good pit cycle. Down in 9th at the moment. So not good for Wang. Warner, 7th. Vantagiato in 6th. And Aria in 5th. So them early pit stoppers seem to do the job, especially Oliver and also Harrison. So good job from both of them guys.
I do like how even Vantagiato has given us a voice note and you're still not pronouncing his name right.
Why? He said split it into 3, Vantagiato.
Yeah, that was better. That's not what he's saying.
Well, what, you want me to say that slowly every time? Okay, Ivan Vantagiato.
I also like the fact he clarified on Ivan as well. Just
no, it wasn't Ivan. It was Ivan.
Yeah, you don't know. It's not. Pronunciations aren't visible. Meanwhile, David Wang tries to get past Cruiser into the final chicane. Latest apex. I had to have 2 goes at that, and he's gone a bit wide. So and by the way, if you're looking for the reason why David Wang's down here, maybe we haven't explained so much so far. You only have to look at the stationary time. He's got the longest stationary time of anybody inside the race of those who have not had damage. So Peter Pereira doesn't count. He spent 3 minutes stationary, but he had damage. So there's a look down the inside. Can't quite get past. He's going to have to make some of these moves in the next 4 laps if he wants to salvage anything from this race, as Vantagiato now comes into pit lane, needing a little bit more fuel before the end.
Yeah, well, he pitted back down on lap 1. I'm not surprised from that, to be blatantly honest. Twitch from Wang. Oh my God, David Wang is literally wringing the neck out of that Mercedes.
Yep. Yeah, he absolutely is. And he has to. Not normally a car you can actually see twitching like that, by the way. It's normally a really stable machine. Why it was so widely picked for the endurance races back in the day when GT3 was first introduced into iRacing and properly given a go at back about 10 years ago. The Mercedes was the car to have. The AMG pretty new. We replaced the SLS in real life. We got the AMG pretty early on in iRacing, and it was the car to have. And I would say that on some occasions it still is with the new Evo version, but you don't normally see it behaving like that. Wang is going to have to get past quickly, though. If he wants to get anything else more than 7th place, he's going to have to get these moves done quickly.
Yeah, he is. That's my car of choice as well, Mercedes. You love the Mercedes. I do have the McLaren and the Corvette, but the Merc is always just gives me something. And the noise of the Merc. Oh, it just growls at you. It's awesome.
I must admit, I even prefer the McLaren's noise, to be honest, to the Mercedes.
Oh,
but,
get out.
Just a strange noise, isn't it, the McLaren? I quite like it. It's very, very odd. I don't know how they've made that noise from that engine, but they have somehow. Anyway, onto the Ullman Straight, and this is Pianzola further up the road. Surprised he's not been able to do anything actually on Dante Oliver just yet, as Eric Aria battles away with them as well. He'll look to pick up the pieces. Matt Warner's just in behind them. He's very close coming out of the final corner as they now hit 3 laps to go in this race. A defence from Oliver immediately into turn 1, and Pianzola's just going to stay on the inside line. He's not quite far enough alongside. The camera just foreshortening the gap there between the two of them, and Aria now is going to have a much better run. They've taken quite a tight line there, and Pianzola's off towards turn 3. Aria's down the inside. He makes sure not to get into the side of Oliver, and side-to-side contact. Pianzola gets away with it, and he gets 4th place. It keeps 4th place, rather.
Yeah, nice little bit of battle in there from Aria and Pianzola. Warner's now on the scene. Matty Warner has joined into the pack, so he's going to have a run at these 3 as well in front of him. How is that BMW going to fare, though, against the Audi and the Porsches? That's going to be the question. BMW, always the safe option, do we not think? It's kind of the all-rounder. If you want to put it in cricket terms, the BMW is kind of the all-rounder. It's got a little bit of everything, but doesn't excel in anything. That's the thing. Where, the Porsche is better on handling, but the top speed is rotten. The Audi, well, that can just kill you at times, but again, is quite good on the handling, but again, not great on top speed. Whereas the BMW is just a little bit of everything here as well. So I'm interested to see what Warner can do.
Yeah, very interesting to see how he can get past, but he's at the moment just lurking behind. Really, he's not making any inroads. He did say his personal best last time round, by the way. So did Carl Newhill. But for Warner, that was a 1:59.6. It's one of the better lap times of anybody inside. In fact, the only guy in the 59s at all that last lap. That's Ferrero off. That's 2nd time in the wall.
Yeah, 2nd time in the wall. He come out of pit lane.
Oh, okay. Well, he's going to be finishing, unfortunately, down in 18th place as Wang is giving it another go. Outside line into Sunset Bend on Chrysler. Into the final corner. He's got to go a long way round, and he breaks. Oh, he's just got a bit wide. It's a difficult move to make, and he couldn't quite do it. He gets the cutback, or tries to at least. Evans is lurking as well, but Wang is on the outside line again. Oh,
dude!
What was that all about? Chrysler just drove into him there, not sure why, but Wang gives it another go on the outside. It might be another cutback needed through turn 1 to get the inside at 3. And yes, here he goes again. Another switchback. Turn 3, inside line, finally should have it. They go side by side, good room given between them this time. He's still got the inside though at turn 5. Now he might have the place. No, doesn't. Still carries on as they go towards the hairpin.
Crisco there, banging, he's getting his elbows out. I swear he's got a wife or something in the back, throwing everything out the window with David Wang there. That move on the straight was really, really bizarre. I'm not even quite sure what that was about. But now they're still side by side going through the hairpin. Now Crisco gets his nose in, or his rear end in front of Wang's nose. I am not sure what that move was, to be blatantly honest. It did look a little bit of a violent twitch into Wang. I don't know how pleased Wang's going to be about that, but now we've got Scotty Evans and Eduardes in behind, so these 4 are going to be in their own little 4-car battle. Aria, Pianzola, Oliver and Harrison are also going to be mixing out further up the field. So yeah, lots of drama there as well. Wang giving Crisco a little bit of a nudge to help him through Tower, of course.
Yeah, they were faster at different parts of the corner there, and Wang just getting into the back of Crisco through the middle of the turn there as he was fast entering. Evans now and Eduardes is very much caught up. Eduardes wasn't really involved in this last lap, but the battle that we just saw has slowed them up so much that he now is. Oh, and they've progressively gone more off the circuit there as they go through the final corner. Minute and a half to go, and we're going to start lap 13. Guillaume Dombray is going to get on towards a double victory. White flag is waving. We're more sure this time because there's only a minute and 20 left. Yeah, white flag and one more lap to go. Dombray's going to take a double win.
Yeah, Oliver here having a go with Harrison. Wow, all right. Okay, pick a line. Anyone would have done. You could have gone through there. For Pianzola, who's in that Audi, flitching around all over the back. We've got Aria and Warner. They're still fighting. Then we've got Eduardo, Evans, Wang and Kriska. I am not sure how Wang's going to feel about that move. I've got to be honest. It seems very bizarre. Aria runs a wide line coming out of free. He gets under attack from Warner now. And Warner's going to pressurise him for this final lap.
Let's see, Aria needs these points, of course, with Dombray getting a full load of points for 2 victories here today. He's taken his first win of the season in race 1. He's going to take his second in race 2 as well. And after a week of double winners, or 2 different winners rather, last time out, we're going to see a clean sweep again for the first time since round 1. It's not going to be Eric Aria this time round. Warner right in behind him, looking to take those last few points away from him as well here. Over the curb they go, and Oliver, of course, under big pressure for 3rd place. Did a good job through the pit stop cycle to get this place. Now he's defending for it on the last lap.
Yeah, he is. Now he's trying to get past Pianzola, but Warner's putting him under pressure. Eduardes and Evans are still putting Wang under pressure. Wang's dropped back about a second away from Kriska at the moment. So Wang losing a little bit of time. You just see them in the background. But it's the final run now down through the Ullman. You can see these guys are going to run it all the way down to the end. I'll wait for Dombray just about to get to the final corner before we flick to him. But these guys are on that run. What's going to happen here? Dombray round the final corner he goes.
It's going to be a victory here for Guillaume Dombray. A double victory as well. Took his first win earlier in race 1, and now here's his second. It is Guillaume Dombray to take the clean sweep at Sebring. 2.5 seconds or so ahead of Lee Howson. Does a great job through the pit stop cycle to get that place. And Dante Oliver weaves over the line, delighted with a podium finish.
Yeah, Wang comes over the line, didn't clear Kriska. Evans in behind him. And then everybody else is going to come over the line as Scotty Evans just gives Wang a gentle touch. I don't really know what to call that, to be blatantly honest. Afters. I don't know if there was a ta-ta-ta or... I don't know.
Yeah, that's close for New Hill as he just holds on from Angeli down the front straight. They finished 13th, 14th. And further down the field, look at this Vantagiato coming across the line now. He will be disappointed with that. That's his worst result of the season so far. Before tonight, he hadn't finished off for the podium in a single race yet. And that's how he got to just 9 points behind Eric Aria in the standings. Well, unfortunately, that's all going to go away now. Arias, I think, still going to be the series leader, but Dombray is going to have really caught up here today.
Yeah, he definitely would have done. Chanel's going to come over the line as well. We've got one more car before we can bring you up the results, and that would be Mr. Luke Broadbent, who's going to be down there as well.
And Luke Broadbent, sorry, is going to be the final driver to cross the line. There he is with his mixed headlines. Headlights.
Headlines. Driver uses mixed colours in Corvette.
If I was writing anything, he'd be on my headline.
Well, there you go. Up for your next article, Mr. O'Leary. Go on, I would love to see that.
I'm not sure there's much. There's much. What's the word?
Controversy.
Can't remember. No, not much controversy. No. Anyway, I'll think of the word in a moment. Guillaume Dombray wins the second race of the day, this time by 2.5 seconds or so ahead of Lee Harrison. And Dante Oliver rightly pleased with that podium place, holding on from Jordan Pianzola, Eric Aria, the series leader, and Matt Warner, who lost a place throughout that race compared to where he started. Cristiano Cruiser held on from David Wang and Scott Evans in another group. Then Anthony Eduardes finishing next in line to round out the top 10. Scott Borman up 3 to finish 11th in the only Lamborghini in the field. Ben Mitchell then ahead of Carl Newhill, who was just a second or so ahead of Michael Angeli. Ivan Vantagiato has his worst result of the season so far, down in 15th, ahead of Ben Snell and Luke Broadbent on the lead lap. Peter Ferreira finishing 4 laps down after his accidents. And Paul Pittam, I think, having connection troubles again, which is a shame for him. Well, a good couple of races here from Sebring. I think this season is certainly setting itself up very nicely indeed. We have certainly not got a runaway championship leader, and that's a fantastic thing. Guillaume Dombray here today has brought Eric Arier right back in. Started the day 21 points behind him. It will be a lot less than that after tonight. Yeah,
it definitely will be. We'll keep an eye on what the results do when they come out, of course, and update you going into next week at the same time. Now, we can pull somebody in for a chat if you wish. Is there anybody you would like to have a chat with? It's a bit hard because they've all got nicknames in YouTube, in Discord, which is a little bit confusing. So, yeah, not quite sure how we're going to know who we're pulling in, but there's a couple with real names there.
Yeah, that's very annoying.
I have to be honest, it is. Yeah, I'm going to speak to Ben and be like, can we get real names, dude? Because we cannot decipher who is who.
Yeah, because I was going to say, the one who I would really like to talk to is... oh,
there we go.
It's obviously Guillaume Dombray, but, you know...
Who is he?
If he is there, then we don't know who he is. So that's going to be difficult. Anyway, a couple of drivers have put themselves in the green room anyway, so they're volunteering themselves out. So we'll... Or are they? Are they just watching another stream together?
No, you can pull them in. Pull them in. Start with Mr. Mitchell.
Okay. Do you not want to start with the guy who finished further up? Off?
Oh, I don't. No, I don't really mind. Do whichever way round you wish.
Oh, I can't pull people anyway, so I haven't got choice.
Who would you like? Pianzola. There we go.
Yeah, let's try Jordan first. Jordan, welcome in. I don't know if you were waiting for an interview or not, but oh no, it wasn't.
Oh,
he's gone. He's just popped. Yeah, see, I think they've gone privately to watch something.
Oh,
in Irish, I mean, they're not watching a film together.
All right. Well, I don't know then. Is there anybody you fancy having a chat with? Or should we just close out? Let's just move on. Dombray is Bitcoin wizard, apparently.
Is he?
Apparently so.
It's Ben, buddy. I'll if you try to drag Jordan across again, he'll come across. He didn't know what was going on. So try again. And yeah.
Ben, I need you to do me a favour. Please, can we have real names? We don't know who they are.
Yeah, done. I'll fix that up. That's no problem.
Thanks, mate. You're causing us dramas at the moment here, son. We don't know if we're pulling people in or what. Are they coming in for interviews? Are we grabbing people?
Yeah, 100% grab them. I'm sorry that you've got a bunch of middle-aged men with names they've had from 13-year-old gaming streams, right? So, yeah, sorry. Some of us haven't grown up yet, mate. So give me 2 seconds and you can pull Jordan in whenever you want.
Right, there you go. Start off with that one, and then we'll grab somebody else. But if you could just check who wants to come in, and then put them in the green room for us.
Yeah, done. Sweet. All right, thanks, lads. I'll speak to you afterwards.
Bye.
Right. Thanks very much.
There we go. Let's try it with Jordan.
Things out for us. Sorry, welcome in, Jordan. Good to have you with us. Welcome in.
Sorry,
congratulations on getting up into fourth place here in race number 2. Tell us a little bit about the second race, how that was tonight for you.
It was a lot of fun. The car came on. It wasn't really feeling good at the start, but probably after like lap 3 or 4, I just found my groove. This is a track I've always not liked, I guess, but it came through really well at the end. I guess sitting in the traffic also saved me fuel, so I could overcut some people, and I think that really worked in my favour. But yeah, it was a great battle with Dante at the end, and yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, how are you finding the Audi this season? It's a car that not everybody gets on with. Certainly, you said that at the start of today that it wasn't particularly great either, finishing down outside the top 10 in race 1. How are you finding the Audi so far across the tracks we've had?
It's very much so of a hit and miss car. Especially in the fixed setup, it's probably not one that's favourable. But I'm just very used to it that I kind of just stick to it. I'm ride and die with it. But it's when you're in open setup, you can really get it hooked up well, and I do like it, but it does have some bad tendencies. So.
What, like trying to kill you?
Yeah, pretty much. I did clip the wall, I think, once in qualifying. But yeah, it does like to be snappy sometimes, but it can really, really brake well. Like, I find compared to most cars, I can go so deep on those brakes.
Yeah, well, it certainly seemed to work in race 2 for you. Well, congratulations on that run through the field in the second race.
Thank
Is
you.
there anybody you'd like to shout out before we let you go?
I guess just the Skidmark racing crew that I'm with. Racing every week with them is always improving my sim skills, and yeah, just shout out to them. They're a whole bunch of American lads, and yeah, shout out to them.
All right, thanks very much for coming to have a chat with us, Jordan. Congratulations on your run through the field in race 2, especially here tonight.
Cheers. Thank you. See ya.
Thanks very much. That is Jordan Pianzola, fourth place in race number 2 today. We do now have, thankfully, the second and first place drivers to have a chat to. And first of all, Lee Harrison, second place in race number 2. Welcome in, Lee. Good to have you with us. Let's talk about race 2. First of all, it seemed to be in the pit stop phase that you gained all of that time and got yourself into second place. Just tell us about how you managed that and what you plan to do through race 2 to get yourself towards the front.
I think it all set itself up from the start, really. I was lucky with a couple of incidents in front of me and managing to keep a straight car, and some others didn't quite get the same luck. And then, yeah, I was sort of battling there a little bit with David and decided to pit a couple laps before the empty tank and just make sure that I had just enough. I probably would have been borderline if we had to go another lap there, but just took the minimal fuel that I could and tried to put some pressure on Guillaume at the end there. And, yeah, unfortunately, he was just too good tonight.
Yes, a couple of seconds gap at the end, but tell us about the start to race 2. It was certainly interesting to watch. There was so much going on. How did you pick yourself through the carnage on that one?
Yeah, I was lucky. I got a relatively good start. I read it when the front guys wanted to go. So yeah, managed to get up to the outside of Peter on turn 1, and then I thought, this is going to get a bit sketchy and a bit dicey. There's too many egos here having a go. So I just decided to brake about 20, 30 meters before everyone else. And I was happy to lose, 1 or 2 spots to make sure I got out of there with a straight car. And that seemed to be the play that worked the best. It's a long race, nearly half an hour around that track's a lot of laps. So there's a lot of time for things to go wrong. So I just wanted to make sure we had a good car and then kept it straight the rest of the race.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on getting your best result with the season so far with a second place at Sebring tonight. Is there anybody you'd like to shout out before we let you go?
Just my mum and my dad for bringing me here, and yeah, all the other guys for some good racing on track.
Thanks very much, Lee. Congratulations again, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks. We'll see you then. Cheers.
Thanks very much, Lee Harrison, second place in race number 2 here today. And finally, we can chat to double race winner tonight, Guillaume Dombray from the front of the field. Guillaume, welcome in. Good to have you with us. Congratulations on the double win here tonight. Let's chat about race 1 first, because that was certainly the closer of the 2 races. Tell us about those final few laps as you were defending for the win.
Pretty scared, to be honest. I was sweating. I was scared. Yeah, if there was a few more laps, he would have probably got me there. So that's that story.
Right. Okay. I just want to interrupt. What happened at the start in race 1?
In race 1, did you guys think that was controversial?
Dude, I literally called it a Piastri moment from Silverstone.
Oh, Piastri was going 200 miles an hour. I don't even think I was registered over 100 k's an hour.
I know, but it did look like you went and broke again, Boot, and then it caused a massive problem.
I was breaking it and going the whole time consistently, and then I just decided to go. So I didn't do it unpredictably, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever we call a massive problem behind you. There was people checking up all over the place. It was like a big...
Really, oh no, I'm so scared now.
It was a car park moment, mate. That's why you were so far ahead by turn 1, dude, because everybody was stationary. At one point, they were literally stopped behind you.
Yeah. I mean, that was the strategy. Yeah. It was to do, that's how I've always done it in go-karts, and that's the strategy. But whether or not it was a bit over the edge, I don't know. I think I don't know. Cashie got 2 warnings before he ended up with a penalty, though.
All right, mate. Well, listen, just as a warning. Yeah, we'll give you a warning. That was a little bit close.
Okay, I'll admit it might have been a bit close. Right. I didn't think I was going particularly that far.
Right, Stewart's up. It's now, sunshine. That's it. We're off.
You act like you are a steward.
I'm not really. I don't really care. It just looked like it was a bit dramatic because it caused problems for everybody. That was all.
I will say, by the way, there was a lot of people trying to anticipate the launch as well, which doesn't help. But that's anyway. We'll see what happens afterwards. That anyway, we'll get to race 2 as well, because that was a much bigger margin of victory in the end. But you did lose a little bit of time towards the end, and Harrison was catching you at some stages. How concerned were you at that stage? And what were you thinking after lap 1, by the way, when you had a 4-second lead already?
I was thinking it was my race to lose. But basically, the gap at the end there, I wasn't too worried. I was lapping maybe 1.5 seconds off my best time. I was struggling, like physically, like mentally and physically, and you should see how much sweat I'm in right now. I'm in a pool of sweat. So I think I was okay, but I was, it was on my mind a bit, but I wasn't too worried there.
Yeah, well, no surprises. It was a comfortable gap in the end. Congratulations on the double win tonight. Is there anybody you'd like to shout out before we let you go?
All the boys who are watching, you know who you are. Eric Aria, especially for shouting me the rig. Like, I wouldn't have pedals without him. So that's nice of him. Yeah, that's about it. And you guys, obviously, for commentating. Benji for organizing the whole thing. It's a great great bunch of boys we got going. So it's everyone who's involved in organising this for sure. And also, you pronouncing my name properly.
Thanks. I'll try. How by the way have you got such a French name being in Australia?
Well, I'm actually French, so I was born in France.
I don't know what you expected. You and
no, dear. You got to ask these things. You got to ask.
It's not a very common name here, so I've had it all, man. I've had it all, but yeah.
I bet you've been called some things in your time, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, thanks very much for coming to have a chat with us, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, and thank you for broadcasting. It's great.
Thanks so much. That is I've got permission to drag people again. No, I haven't. Only out of here. I just did it on autopilot. But anyway, yes, that is Guillaume Dombre, the race winner here tonight from not only race 1 but race 2 as well. Takes the full amount of points and closes on Eric Aria, who might be regretting giving him those pedals by the sounds of it. But anyway, they will battle away in the championship, I'm sure, throughout the rest of this season. We'll be at Road America next week, but here tonight from Sebring, good racing. I mean, it was in the dark, which made it difficult at times. And I will say, we had clean turn 1 both times, but that's, I'm just saying, from what we said earlier, clean turn 1 both times. That was,
hold on, we had a clear run because Dombre left them at the blinking last corner. Get out.
That was true. But, you didn't agree to those conditions. You didn't say if they're really slow at the final corner, it doesn't count.
Oh, so, you're on a thin line of black and white at the moment, Mr. O'Leary, I tell you.
So I'm taking that as a win. No, it was good racing, and no denying a great day for Guillaume Dombre. Whatever you think of the start of race 1, it was a good race from him after that. In race 1 and then in race 2, completely dominated. So he can't have any complaints tonight from taking the full amount of points.
No, I agree with you. He had a great race, regardless. And I think everybody, to be fair, it wasn't too bad. Sebring in the dark worked out okay. So I'm looking forward to the next one.
Absolutely. We'll be back next week, same time, same place from Road America at the end of July as we get towards the mid part of this season. 8 rounds, by the way, will be here until the end of August every week, going to Road America, Daytona, Bathurst, Fuji and Mugello to round off the season. But next week, we'll be approaching the halfway mark as this championship gets ever more interesting. This has been it, though, from the BISC GT3 Championship here for Season 1. I've been Ewan O'Leary alongside James Parfitt. Until we see you next week at Road America, it's goodbye for now.